The year is 1902. A young Benito Mussolini moved from Italy to Switzerland to dodge military service, already setting the tone. He was a hardcore socialist, writing articles, organizing trade unions, shouting speeches. For the ones who haven't watched Peaky Blinders, a socialist is someone who supports the political and economic philosophy of socialism, advocating for collective, public, or cooperative ownership of the means of production, factories, land, resources, rather than private corporate ownership.
Anyways, cutting back to our Italian fellow. Due to his shenanigans, the Swiss police ended up arresting him. They sent him back to Italy. However, Mussolini was a rough and tough fellow, so he went back to Switzerland again. Guess what? He got arrested again. At this point, even Switzerland is like, "Sir, please." Eventually, he served in the military, became a schoolteacher, hated the guts of the pesky students, went back to socialism. Then World War I happened. Italy joined the winning side and got basically almost nothing. Bad economy, weak government under Giovanni Giolitti. Mussolini switched ideology faster than Wi-Fi networks, from anti-war socialist to pro-war nationalist to full-blown fascist. By 1922, he marched on Rome and became prime minister. I wonder though how his students felt after seeing their teacher who hated his job becoming prime minister. That would have been so surprising. Germany lost World War I. Due to its loss, a treaty by Great Britain and friends copyright was introduced. On June 28, 1919, enter the Treaty of Versailles. And boy oh boy, Germany had it bad. I mean so bad it's actually embarrassing. Punishments included army capped at 100,000, no air force, Rhineland demilitarized, massive reparations, around 132 billion gold marks, often exaggerated later. Lost territory. Economy, dead. Government, weak. This summoned our favorite Austrian painter, Adolf Hitler, with a stunning mustache. He was a WWII veteran. Joined and reshaped the National Sozialistische Deutsche Arbeiterpartei, which is also known as National Socialist German Workers' Party for people with normal tongue flexibility. Basically, the Nazi Party. Hitler, in 1923, tried a coup in Munich, failed miserably, ended up behind bars. But somehow he came out more popular due to it. By 1933, President Paul von Hindenburg appointed him as Chancellor. Shortly after, dictator mode got activated. To rewind a bit, Japan had been isolated for 200 years. Then the US forced trade open in the 1850s. It went something like this. US, trade with us. Japan, no. US, I said trade. Japan, all right. Unequal treaties followed. Their economy was bust, and so were their natural resources. Japan went to go get some on a trip to China. The Western powers showed up like, "Oi, what do you think you're doing? Get on out of here." Japan, being a good boy, did. But behind the scenes, the Western powers took advantage of a weakened China and stole their stuff too. Japan got mad and went to war with Russia. Surprise, surprise, Russians actually lost. Ramen noodles then proceeded to annex Korea. In 1931, after a suspicious railway explosion, Mukden incident, Japan invaded Manchuria and creates Manchukuo. In 1937, Marco Polo Bridge incident. Full invasion of China, Beijing, Shanghai, Nanjing. Things got extremely dark. Darker than Kuroshu sake. Meanwhile, Germany and Italy were bonding over "We hate Versailles." 1939. Germany and Italy signed the Pact of Steel. Japan joined them in 1940 with the Tripartite Pact. The Tripartite Pact was basically "Boogie. Do not dare to leave us as friends or we will be enemies. Lots of loves and prayers, dear." 3, Axis powers formed. Hitler, being a secretive dude, signed a secret pact with Stalin, the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. They agreed to split Poland in between Germany and Russia. On September 1st, 1939, Germany invaded Poland. Britain and France declared war against Germany. Poland got sent back to the lobby, that is, it got crushed. Then came the phony war. France built the very famous Maginot Line. Massive defenses, impressive. However, it did not extend fully to the Channel. Depressing. Germany invaded Denmark and Norway in 1940. Allies scrambled like eggs, failed impressively. British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain resigned. He realized he was not cut out for this. Now came our star boy, Winston Churchill, in office as PM. Speech skill, ultra-legendary. Hitler invaded France through Belgium. The Allied anticipated the German forces to do it exactly as they tried in World War I, but they had other, far better plans. The twist was, the Führer pushed through the Ardennes forest. The French thought it was impenetrable. To say the least, it was not impenetrable. 50 Wehrmacht divisions smashed through like a sweat in fortnight. Allied armies were trapped. Then came the Dunkirk evacuation. British civilians sailed across to rescue soldiers. They must have felt proud. France called it a day. Northern France got occupied. Southern part became Vichy France. The hilarious reason why it was called that is because the authoritarian puppet government, led by Marshal Philippe Pétain, established its administrative capital in the spa town of Vichy. A freaking spa town, haha. Hitler expected Britain to finally quit. Britain said in a very cool as a cucumber way, nah. Battle of Britain began, which we have a terrific video on covering it in great detail on this channel. Definitely go and have a look, you will love it. Getting back to the topic, it was Luftwaffe versus RAF. Hitler switched bombing to civilian targets after a British raid on Berlin. London endured heavy attacks. RAF won air superiority. Invasion got postponed and then officially cancelled. A huge win for our crumpet munchers. There is still lots of mischief and treachery to discuss. Pearl Harbor, Operation Barbarossa. Hold your horses, my friend. That will occur in the next part. See you all in the next episode.